Yeah, I've never been in that situation. Of course, I've known people who've lost their lives in Afghanistan, but they weren't close friends of mine, and it wouldn't be necessary for me to visit their family. However, if something like that were to happen, if one of my soldiers were to die, I definitely would try and make a presence. You know, maybe invite myself to see if it would be something that they would be responsive to. Because I know that if something were happening to me, I know I would want, you know, my close friends in the Army to tell my wife what I was like. Because I don't talk to my wife. I've been married for 4 years now. I don't tell my wife what I've been going through, you know, or what we've done, what I've done in the Army, things like that. So I would want my friends to tell her stories, you know, about me. I believe she would appreciate that.
You didn't talk to your wife what you have said, what you have done there?
Very, very little.
Very little?
Very little. I mean, obviously she knows I've went there 3 times, but I really don't explain too much because it would put a lot of undue stress on her. And, you know, you ever hear the phrase, what you don't know doesn't hurt you? Things like that.
Yes, yes.
So,
it would just make them worried. They'd be afraid, and they don't need to be afraid, so we just don't tell them.
And now if it's finished, because perhaps you don't know, perhaps you can go back in Afghanistan, no?
Or they could. The Army could tell me to go back.
Yeah.
Yes, they could.
So you can't talk about that with your wife?
No, my past experiences.
Yes, your past.
I don't. It's over with. You know, we leave it.
Yes.
Leave it over there. We're done with it. So, I think one day she'd like to know, but you know, she's probably just happy that, you know, I'm alive and
yes, of course,
and back. So I don't think she is necessarily wanting to know.
Yes. And you need to speak about that with a friend, with
yeah, and so you come here and we speak with each other about it. We talk to our friends who were there with us, who experienced the same thing, because they understand. Where people who haven't gone, as much as they would like to help you and to help understand, they just can't. It's not their fault, but they just don't know. So we get it out by telling each other, telling other friends who have been.
What would you say to the future soldier that they will go there? Sorry.
Well, I mean, we have all these cadets that we're training now who will probably go.
Yes.
And I just, all you can say is thank you for volunteering, and and you train them as best you can to be prepared, and make sure that they know, because these cadets are going over as officers. They're going to be in charge of soldiers, and they have to know that that's a big responsibility, and that their main job is to take care of those soldiers. So,
I guess I tell them just to make good decisions. Think before you act.
Yes.
Because it's, as an officer, like he was saying, like Corey was saying, that it's not about you. It's about your soldiers. And you know, you have to worry about 30 or 40 people. So I mean that's your.
Yes, you are responsible of your soldier.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's what I tell them, and just make smart decisions. Just think about everything. Just think.
How many soldiers have you under your authority when you was in Iraq and when you was in 10?
In Iraq,
yes.
Before I had 40 soldiers. 40? Yes.
10 to 40, depending the moment.
As a lieutenant, as a new officer, you'll have up to 40 soldiers under.
Yes. And what is
I had about 30.
About
30. About 30. Yeah, 30.
Yes. And what is the way to make your soldier courageous, to don't be upset, to
training?
Yes, in the ground, in America, in Iraq and in Afghanistan.
How do you keep them happy?
Yes, to keep them
morale.
Yes,
esprit de corps.
Yes.
Well, to keep them brave and courageous and able to do the mission, you train them, because when they know that they know what they're doing, they know that they can accomplish the mission,
yes.
they're okay to go out and do it.
Yes.
If they're uncomfortable, if they don't feel like they've been trained well enough, they're scared to do it. So you just make sure they have the best training that they can have. And that's the best way to increase their courage.
Yes.
So I would just tell my guys, hey, look, you know, you guys have it pretty good. You have, you know, a warm place to sleep. You know, you have food to eat.
Yeah.
And you know, you have cable and phones, and you know, you can call home and stuff. Just, you know, work hard for however long you need to work, and then just, you know, relax as much as possible.
What is the more difficult in the work there?
In the work?
In the work, you work in the army in Afghanistan or in Iraq. What is the more difficult? What was the more difficult to do?
Well, what's the most thing difficult in
most thing difficult in the work?
Staying focused.
Yes.
Because when you're there for a year, you get used to what you see, and you get complacent, and you get, I don't want to say lazy, but you get tired, and you stop concentrating on what you're supposed to be doing, and that's when people get hurt. Yeah. So you have to be disciplined, and you have to discipline your soldiers and make them stay focused on what they're doing.
And as you have said, the difficulty is the unconventional war.
Yes.
Yeah, it's difficult because you know, the enemy's not wearing a uniform where you can pick him out and say, okay, that's the bad guy. It could be anybody.
Yes.
So that's tough.
Yes, it can be terrible to don't know if civilian or soldier.
Right. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to determine enemy from friend.
Yeah. And now, what do you wish? What do you hope for the future? What in this country you have seen?
In the United States or
in Iraq and in Afghanistan?
Okay. In Iraq, what I hope for the most is that the people there take responsibility for their own country and for their own security, and more people start volunteering for the army and saying, you know, I'm going to take care of it. I don't need the Americans to do it for me. So they do it, because until they do it, we're not going to be able to come home.
I was most proud of I think I was most proud of being in Afghanistan for was being a part of their first elections, the Afghanistan national elections. That was in 2005. They've never had an election. I think it was maybe thousands of years, maybe first ever. They elected their first president, President Hamid Karzai. So I helped make that a success. And I wish that the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan to have whatever kind of government they choose to have, and I don't care if it's, you know, religious affiliated or democratic or dictatorship. I don't care, but I wish that they can finally have a stable government, one that is going to work for the people of Afghanistan and for the best interest of the people in Afghanistan, and I do believe that's what they are. Every day they're working towards that, and they're reaching that goal every day.
And, it was an interesting experience for the money. For you, when you was in Iraq, you are sure to find a good job after. You have a good money, or you.
Yes, we got paid very well for being there. Yeah. The government takes care of us, and when we came back, we got this job, so we can't complain.
Yeah. I have no complaints about the money. I mean, first and foremost, we don't do it for the money. However, it could always be more, but it could always be. They could have paid more if they wanted to, but the money they paid us was okay.
Was okay.
I lived a good life, very good life.
Yes.
I raised I have a wife and a son, and we're fine. We have no money problems.
More than in an office.
Absolutely.